There are always players that fly under the radar. In every draft class, there are a handful of guys that not a lot of people are talking about, but deserve way more hype than they are getting. I have quite a few of those guys in this class, but in my opinion, one of the most slept on prospects in the entire draft class is Arkansas cornerback Dwight McGlothern, a player who started his collegiate career with LSU before transferring to Arkansas and has been very productive and showed some elite potential at the cornerback position. What makes McGlothern so exciting in this draft class? That is what we will be going over in today's video. Before we get into it, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you are new, and leave a comment, and let me know which players you guys would like to see me touch on in the next video. And without further ado, let's get into it. McGlothern has been extremely productive for the Razorbacks since he transferred from LSU. He has spent the last 2 seasons in Arkansas and has flown very under the radar. In 2022, McGlothern was targeted 66 times and just allowing 372 yards and 1 touchdown. But he also had some really good production on the ball. He had 4 interceptions and 10 pass deflections. His 2023 season was just as productive. He was targeted 25 times, allowing 132 yards. He had 3 interceptions on the year with 6 pass deflections, and once again, I think is a guy that a lot of people are sleeping on in the entire draft class, and he was PFF's second graded cornerback in 2023. McGlothern has excellent size and length at the outside cornerback position. He is 6'2", 181 pounds, and he has really great length and long arms. He took some snaps in the slot and on the line as a blitzer, but a majority of his snaps came lined up on the outside as an outside corner, and I think he has very good frame to play that position. McGlothern also is a very good mover. He has very good speed down the field and does a great job of matching up deep. But on top of that, McGlothern is a very fluid mover. His hips are very flexible and he has no wasted movements. He mirrors wide receiver routes perfectly, and I love how fluid he looks in that secondary. Another thing that McGlothern really showcased was elite ball skills. He has 7 interceptions in the last 2 seasons, which is pretty solid, but his 16 pass deflections are also really solid. There was one play in particular in the LSU game where he was in zone coverage and he read the quarterback's eyes perfectly, and he jumped the route for an interception. He showed flashes in both zone and in man coverage, and he made really good plays on the football. He showed some really nice physicality in coverage as well. He's excellent in coverage, and I'm really impressed with the abilities he has shown in both zone and man, and I think that's a very intriguing part of his game. McGlothern is tall and has great length, but him being at 181 pounds is slightly concerning. I would like to see him add on 10 to 15 pounds of muscle and just be a little bit stronger, because there are times when he does struggle to wrap up and secure the tackle, which you don't like to see. I think if he was a little bit stronger, he may be able to land tackles more effectively. McGlothern plays very aggressively, and he has the tendency to bite and lose a step in coverage from time to time. Now he does have the recovery speed to get back into the play, but I would like to see him not be put in that situation to begin with, and maybe tone down the aggressiveness on the football, which I think he can improve. He also got super physical with the ball in the air at times, and I would like to see him do a better job of doing that without penalties. It is an area that I could see hurting him in the NFL if it isn't properly addressed. McGlothern is a really good player. I'm not sure why nobody is talking about him, because he was battle-tested in the SEC, he has good production, and I think he's an excellent all-around player. He is my cornerback 9 in this draft class. He has so many tools that I think make him very moldable and make him such an exciting overall prospect. He is my number 71 player in the class. McGlothern is a very versatile prospect. He has flashed in man coverage, he has flashed in zone coverage, and he has flashed in press. I think he can virtually play anywhere at the NFL level, and he has some excellent versatility. I would like to see him in an off-man coverage scheme where it just allows him to sit back and react and put his ball skills on full display. McGlothern reminds me a lot of Miami Dolphins cornerback Cam Smith. Cam Smith was one of my favorite corners in the draft last year. He was a super physical, super athletic corner with really good size and coming from a battle-tested SEC. He didn't get the play time in 2023, but now with Xavier Howard gone, there is some buzz around Smith potentially proving that he was worth that second-round pick. I think McGlothern is very similar as an athlete. They have very comparable sizes, and they have a lot of the same traits, so that's my comparison for McGlothern. Dwight McGlothern is very slept on. He has the size, the movement abilities, the coverage, and the production that should be pushing him up draft boards. Yet people are still sleeping on him. I think he should be a second-round pick, but ultimately, I think Dwight McGlothern will be picked between rounds 3 and 5 in the 2024 NFL Draft.